You ever have one of those moments where the world just stops and you see someone for who they really are? Not the labels, not the rumors, not the baggage everyone else slaps on them, but the raw, real human underneath? That's where this story starts, on a scorched July afternoon in a dusty little town called Redstone, Nevada, where a kid named Ellie Harper, all of 12 years old, rolled up to a stranger nobody else dared look at twice. It's the kind of heat that makes your skin feel like it's cooking, the kind where the asphalt shimmers and your lungs burn just breathing. Ellie's out there in her wheelchair, pushing herself home from school, her palms raw against the rubber tires, every crack in the sidewalk rattling her bones. She's small, wiry, with this fierce spark in her eyes that says she's been through more than most kids her age could imagine. School's no picnic for her. Kids call her wheels, behind her back, some right to her face, their laughs slicing deeper than she ever lets on. At home, things aren't much easier. Her mom, Carla, works double shifts at the diner, her sneakers so worn you can see her socks through the soles. Her dad, Tom, hauls scrap at the junkyard, coming home with grease-stained hands and a back that groans louder than he does. They're scraping by, barely, shoving loose change into a mason jar for Ellie's physical therapy they know could help her stand, maybe even walk a few steps, but costs more than they make in a month. Ellie hears their late-night whispers, the kind where they think she's asleep, the kind that make her force a smile at breakfast to keep their hearts from breaking. She's not just carrying her own weight, she's carrying theirs too, and she's only 12. That day, Ellie's rolling home, sweat dripping down her neck, arms screaming for a break, when she hears this grinding, scraping sound like metal fighting to stay alive. She squints into the sun and sees him, a giant of a man, leather jacket sticking to his back, tattoos curling down his arms like stories nobody wants to read. He's wrestling a beat-up motorcycle, its chrome dulled by dust, engine dead as a doornail. His name's Jake Malone, though she doesn't know that yet. To the folks in Redstone, he's just that biker, the kind of guy you cross the street to avoid. A mom yanks her kid away, a shopkeeper turns his head, an old guy mutters trouble under his breath. Jake's used to it, being used to it since he was a kid, when the world decided his wild hair and inked-up dreams made him a problem. He's been pushing that bike for a mile, legs shaking, sweat pouring, and not a single soul stops to help. Why would they? He's the guy you don't make eye contact with. But Ellie, she sees something else. Maybe it's the way his shoulders slump, like he's carrying more than just a broken bike. Maybe it's the way his hands tremble, not from weakness, but from fighting a battle nobody else can see. She knows that look. It's the same one she wears when the hallway at school feels like a gauntlet. So she rolls closer, her wheels squeaking, her throat dry as the desert around her. "Hey," she calls out, voice small but steady. "You need some water?" Jake freezes, like he's not sure he heard right. He turns, sees this kid in a wheelchair holding out a half-empty plastic bottle, condensation dripping down the side like it's the last oasis in the world. For a second, he just stares, like kindness from a stranger is some foreign language he forgot how to speak. Then he takes it, his scarred hands careful, like he's afraid he'll break her just by touching the bottle. He drinks, long and slow, and when he hands it back, his voice is rough, like gravel under tires. "Thanks, kid." Ellie nods, glancing at the bike. "Won't start, huh?" He shakes his head, lips tight. "Dead. Been pushing it forever. Can't afford to tow." She thinks for a second, then digs into the pouch on her chair, pulling out a cracked old phone. "My dad knows a guy who fixes bikes. Not far. I'll call him." Jake blinks, like he's waiting for the catch, but she's already dialing, talking fast, calm, like she's done this 100 times. "He'll be here soon," she says, tucking the phone away. "You won't have to push anymore." Jake crouches down, his leather creaking, eyes level with hers. "Why'd you stop?" he asks, voice low, like he's afraid of the answer. Ellie just shrugs, her words cutting through the heat like a breeze. "'Cause nobody else did." That moment hits like a spark in dry grass. Jake doesn't know it yet, but those words are going to change everything. That night, he's back at the clubhouse, a smoky dive on the edge of town where his biker crew hangs out. He's nursing a beer, the story spilling out almost by accident. "This kid," he says, 12 years old, in a wheelchair, rolls up while I'm dying out there. Gives me her water, calls a mechanic. Says she stopped 'cause nobody else would. The room goes quiet, The kind of quiet that means something's sinking in. These guys tattooed, bearded, leather-clad, they know what it's like to be invisible, to be the monster in everyone's story. One of them, an old rider named Bear, leans forward. She saw you, Jake. Not the jacket, not the ink you. The story spreads, from one biker to another, across bar tables and midnight rides, until Ellie's name is a whisper in every chapter within 100 miles. She's not just a kid anymore. She's the girl who stopped. Meanwhile, Ellie's back at school, where the world hasn't gotten any kinder. There's this group of kids led by a punk named Tyler, all sneers and too tight t-shirts. Hovey, it made it their mission to make her life hell. They're leaning against the fence after school, spotting Ellie as she rolls toward the curb. Hey, Wheels, Tyler calls, loud enough for everyone to hear. Gonna race us to the corner? Oh wait, you'd crash and burn. His crew laughs, sharp and mean. A girl named Kaylee chimes in, her voice dripping with fake pity. Careful, Ellie, don't get stuck in a crack. Nobody's gonna fish you out. Ellie stares at her lap, cheeks burning, forcing herself to keep rolling, to not let them see her crack. Tyler steps closer, blocking her path, his grin all teeth. Need a push, princess? I could send you flying downhill. His hand hovers over her chair, and Ellie's heart slams in her chest, her hands gripping the wheels, ready to shove past him. Then it hits a low rumble, like a storm rolling in. The ground shakes, the air hums, and Tyler's smirk falters. Around the corner, 6 Harleys pull up, chrome glinting like knives in the sun. The riders don't yell, don't wave fists, they just park, engines growling, and dismount in unison, boots hitting pavement like a drumbeat. They form a wall around Ellie, 3 on each side, arms crossed, silent as stone. Jake's there, right behind her, his shadow swallowing Tyler's bravado whole. The bullies freeze, Tyler stumbling back, his face white as chalk. Kaylee mutters, let's bounce, her voice barely a squeak. They scatter like roaches, their laughs gone, their power nothing but dust. Ellie sits there, heart pounding, not sure if she wants to cry or laugh or both. Jake leans down, his voice just for her. You gave me something nobody else did. We're here to give it back. She nods, throat too tight for words, and the bikers climb back on their bikes, engines roaring as they roll out, leaving the schoolyard quiet, the air electric with what just happened. The town can't stop talking about it. At the diner, folks lean over their coffee, whispering about the bikers who showed up for that Harper girl. At the gas station, rumors fly. Some say they threatened the kids, others say they didn't need to. The truth is simpler, stronger. They stood there, and that was enough. At school, kids who used to snicker now step aside when Ellie rolls by. Teachers pull her aside, asking if she's involved with them, like she's some kind of gang princess. Ellie just shakes her head, but she's starting to wonder. Why her? Why did one bottle of water matter so much to these guys? She doesn't know that her stories already crossed state lines, carried by bikers who see themselves in her outsiders. Judged, dismissed. A week later, it happens. Ellie's in her room, reading, when the windows start to rattle. Outside, dogs are barking, kids are running to porches, and her mom's shouting. Tom, what the hell is that? Ellie rolls to the door, her heart in her throat, as a sound like thunder swallows the street. From the end of Sagebrush Lane, they come Harleys, dozens of them, maybe 100, rolling in formation, chrome blazing under the setting sun. Neighbors freeze, some clutching their phones, others slamming doors. The bikes line up, stretching down both sides of the street, and then silence. Engines cut, the air heavy with the tick of cooling metal. Jake steps forward, his boots slow and deliberate, and behind him, 2 riders pull a trailer. They lift off a canvas sheet, and there it is, a wheelchair, but not like hers. This one's sleek, polished, with a deep blue frame and black leather seat, chrome accents catching the light like a Harley. A motor hums softly inside it, promising speed, freedom, a life without fighting every crack in the ground. Ellie's mom gasps, her dad's hands shake as another rider hands him an envelope. Therapy, the guy says, voice gruff. Every session, covered. Ellie's staring, her hands over her mouth, as Jake crouches down, eyes locked on hers. You gave me dignity, kid, when I was nothing to nobody. This is us giving it back. Ellie's dad helps her into the new chair, his hands trembling, And when she touches the controls, it moves smooth, effortless, like she's flying. She laughs, a sound so bright it cuts through the silence, echoing down the street. She rolls forward, spins, rolls again, her hair whipping in the breeze, and the neighbors, the ones who used to look away, they're clapping now, some crying, some whispering, guardian angels. Jake and his crew stand there, letting her have this moment, their silence louder than any roar. That night, Ellie's life changes. The story hits the internet, videos of her laughing in that chair, the bikers standing like sentinels. Headlines pop up, bikers honor girl who helped one of their own. At school, Tyler and his crew can't meet her eyes. Kids who ignored her now ask to sit with her. Teachers quote her in class, saying she's proof that kindness wins. And the bikers? They're not just those guys anymore. People wave when they ride by, parents tell their kids about loyalty, about respect. Ellie speaks at a school assembly a few months later, her voice steady, the chrome on her chair gleaming under the gym lights. They called me weak, she says, thought different meant broken. But different? Different strength. The room's silent, kids who used to laugh now listening. And at the back, Jake's there, leaning against the wall, a proud grin cracking his face. But here's the thing, stories like this, they don't just end tidy. Redstone's changed, sure, but not everyone's happy about it. Some folks still whisper about the bikers, saying they're just buying goodwill, that Ellie's story's a fluke. Others say she shouldn't be tied up with those types, that it's dangerous, that she's too young to be a symbol. And Ellie, she's still asking herself, why her? Was one moment of kindness really enough to spark all this? Or is there something bigger, something about seeing people for who they are, that's got folks so divided? So, I'm asking you, what do you think? Was Ellie just lucky? Or did she start something that could change any town, any heart? Drop a comment. Tell me what you'd have done if you were her, or Jake, or even one of those neighbors watching from the porch. Share this if it hit you, because maybe the smallest act stopping when nobody else does can start a fire we all need to feel. Hit subscribe, stick with us at True Pulse for more stories like this, where compassion doesn't just win, it roars.